Aerial work platform operator training. Self-propelled aerial work platform, scissor lift. Boom supported elevating work platform, boom lift. Vehicle mounted elevating work platform, bucket truck. Different examples of those. Definitions. Aerial work platform means an entire device that is designed and manufactured to raise personnel to an elevated work position on a platform supported by scissors, masts, or booms, or any vehicle-mounted device, telescoping or articulating, or both, which is used to position an employee. The top 10 aerial lift fatality causes. 1. Operating on uneven surface. 2. Encountering holes, debris, and drop-offs while operating elevated. 3. Climbing above or leaning over the 42-inch minimum top rail. 4. Overloading and collapsing the boom using a lift as a material crane. 5. Contact with electrical conductors with an uninsulated portion of the lift. 6. Neglecting to deploy outriggers or brace sufficiently against tip over. 7. Making body contact with electrical conductors or entering the induction field. 8. Operating the lift in inclement weather or low visibility conditions. 9. Inexperienced or untrained operators. 10. Unobserved, uncorrected mechanical or structural defects in equipment. Aerial lift accidents. The most common types of accidents involving an aerial lift consist of tip over, caused by misapplication of the machine, obstacles. The second is misuse of equipment. Machines are marked, used on level surface only, used outdoors for the sake of economy or availability, often resulting in tip overs. And then the final is lack of maintenance. Training. This comes from the OSHA standard requirements for training employees operating an aerial platform lift. Rule 5815-1, an employer shall provide each employee who will operate the aerial work platform with instructions and training regarding the equipment before the permit is issued or reissued. Such instruction and training shall include the following. A. Instructions by a qualified person in the intent, purpose, and function of each of the controls. B. Training by a qualified person or reading and understanding the manufacturer's or owner's operating instructions and safety rules. C. Understanding by reading or having a qualified person explain all decals, warnings, and instructions displayed on the aerial work platform. D. Reading and understanding the provisions of the sub-rule and sub-rules 1 to 9 of this rule to be trained by a qualified person on their content. 2. An employer shall provide the operator of an aerial work platform with an aerial work platform permit. 3. The requirement of sub-rule 1A, B, C, and D of this rule shall be met before an employee is issued a permit. 4. A permit shall be carried by the operator or be available at the job site / workplace and shall be displayed upon request by the Department of Labor and Economic Growth representative. 5. A permit shall indicate the type of aerial work platform an operator has been trained on and is qualified to operate. The OSHA standard continued regarding training. 6. A permit to operate an aerial work platform is valid only when performing work for the employer who issued the permit. They're not transferred from one employer to another. A permit shall be issued for a period of not more than 3 years. Then retraining is required. 7. A permit shall contain all of the following information. See the sample permit. A. Firm name. B. Operator's name. C. ID number, if any. D, name of issuing authority. E, type of truck authorized to operate. Could be self-propelled, boom supported, vehicle mounted, or all of the above. F, operator restrictions, if any. The permit shall state the nature of the restrictions, if there are any. G, date issued. And H, date expiring. 9, the manufacturer operating instructions and safety rules shall be provided and maintained in a legible manner on each unit by the employer. This is an example of a permit. You have the employee name, the type of lift that would be down here, the date tested, the date expires, company name, instructor providing the training. Operating policies. An authorized employee shall have the following before operating in the aerial work platform. Training. The training shall provide each employee who will operate the scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms with instruction and training regarding the equipment before a permit is issued. Equipment. Employees must be certified to operate the scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms. Safety. The scissor, boom, or vehicle aerial work platforms should be only operated when fall/barrier protection is in place. Fall protection. A scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms should only be operated when fall/barrier protection and personal fall arrest systems, harness, and lanyard are in place. Fall protection, and this is from the OSHA standard, Rule 5836, number 1, the employer shall provide a safety harness that has a lanyard which is in compliance with the Construction Safety Fall Protection Standard R408.44501 to R408.44502, and which is affixed to attachment points provided and approved by the manufacturer. Any occupant of an aerial work platform described in the provisions of R408.15802A and C and figures 1 and 3 shall use a safety harness. A fall arrest system shall only be used where the aerial lift is designed to withstand the vertical and lateral loads caused by an arrested fall. 3. An employer shall be prohibited from belting off to an adjacent pole, structure, or equipment while working from an aerial work platform. 4. An employer shall not allow employees to exit an elevated aerial work platform except where elevated work areas are inaccessible or hazardous to reach. Employees may exit the platform with the knowledge and consent of their employer. When employees exit to unguarded work areas, fall protection shall be provided and used as prescribed in the Construction Safety Fall Protection Standard. These are different examples of fall protection, tie-off points. Everybody wearing fall protection. This is a boom lift, scissor lift, fall protection, harness lanyard in place, and boom lift, again, harness lanyard in place. Scissor lift capacity. We want to know the capacity of the lift. So the model we're using has a maximum capacity of how many people. We want to identify that before we're using the scissor lift. The retractable capacity is how many pounds. That's when it's not extended, the platform is not extended. And then when it is extended, we want to know how many pounds are inside and how many pounds are outside the extended area. We want to know the maximum allowable side force and the maximum platform height in feet. Again, with the boom lift, same thing. We want to know the number of people, maximum capacity, and then the maximum pounds, and also knows the height of the boom lift. Boom bucket truck is the same. We want to know how many people can be in the bucket, and then the maximum capacity, and then the height of that bucket truck. These have the capacities. These are on scissor, boom, and bucket trucks. So here we have a capacity of 3 people. 1,000 pounds. When we're retracted, it's 1,000 pounds. When we're extended, the inside is 700 and the outside extended area is 300. Again, another capacity gives the rated capacity of 500 pounds and the height of 19 feet here. PSI rating also of the tires. Another plate, we want to identify all the information prior to using any of the lifts. Operator responsibilities. The operator of the scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms are required to complete a workplace pre-inspection prior to lift operation to check the work area for possible hazards and have area supervisor sign the workplace pre-inspection report. The operator of the scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms shall ensure all personnel on the platform are wearing safety gears as required. The operator of the scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms are required to complete a workplace pre-inspection report. Workplace pre-inspection report. This is an example of a pre-inspection report. We want to make sure the surfaces are clear, check yes or no, overhead obstructions, yes or no, adequate surface or support. So we go through here, make the checklist. We want to date it, the operator, and area supervisor. Equipment inspection report, monthly maintenance check sheet for scissor, boom, vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms. We want to check the hydraulic oil level, any leaks, battery water level, battery cable for corrosion, control of cables for tears, the door return spring, we want to make sure that's operating properly and closes securely, bolt and retaining clip, make sure there's an emergency stop button and that functions properly, and we want to check the tires. Safe operating practices, we want to limit the travel speed according to the conditions of the ground surface, congestion of the work site, visibility, slope, grade, location of personnel, or any other factors causing hazards of collision or injury to personnel. Maintain a clear view of the path of travel when elevated. Maintain a safe distance from obstacles, debris, drop-offs, holes, depressions, ramps, and other possible hazards when elevated. Maintain a safe distance from overhead obstacles when elevated. Safe operating practices continued. No stunt driving or horseplay. We want to shut down or cease operation of the lift in case of any suspected malfunctions of the unit or of any potential hazardous conditions or hazardous environment locations which may be encountered. Report all potential problems to the appropriate people and make sure any problems have been corrected before proceeding. Make sure all personnel maintain a firm footing on the platform floor while working from a platform. Do not use planks, ladders, or any other device on an aerial work platform to achieve additional height or reach. If we need to get higher, we need a lift that goes higher. Operating practices. Use special precautions when other equipment and/or vehicles are present. Warnings such as, but not limited to, flags, roped off areas, flashing lights, and barricades shall be used. Do not alter or disable any interlock or other safety device. Don't position the scissor, boom, or vehicle aerial work platforms against another object to steady the platform. Do not use the aerial work platform as a crane. Do not operate the scissor or boom lift from the position on trucks or trailers. Stay at least 10 feet from power lines less than 50,000 volts. And these photographs down here just show the overhead hazards of power lines. Electrical hazards. So this is a plate that is on, this is a scissor lift, and it identifies the distance we need to be based on the voltage. Safe operating practices. Cease operations if the platform or elevating assembly becomes caught, snagged, or otherwise prevented from normal motion by an adjacent structure or other obstacles, such that control reversal does not free the platform. All personnel shall be removed from the platform before attempts are made to free the platform using ground controls. Do not alter or modify the aerial work platform unless you have written permission to do so by the manufacturer. Operate the scissor, boom, or vehicle-mounted aerial work platforms within the manufacturer's operating manual. Safe operating practices. Aerial work platforms must be equipped with an emergency controls at ground level and must be capable of overriding platform controls. We want to be able to lower the platform in case of emergency, so the ground controls must function. Rotating shafts, gears, and other moving parts that are exposed to contact must be guarded. There must be an attachment point for fall protection devices. Operator must ensure that the area surrounding the platform is clear of personnel and equipment before lowering the platform. Directional controls must return automatically to the off or neutral position. They must be guarded and marked. So if we let go of the controls, it'll stop. It won't continue to operate. Aerial work platform evaluation form. We want onboard and operational. We want to make sure to secure the entry gate. We want to check the controls. Check the hydraulics up and down, forward, back, left, and right. Speed settings. Differentiate safe speeds at proper height. Keep the wheels straight. Traveling with platform lowered. We want a clear view, surrounding areas, distance from obstacles, hazards, speed, steering, check rear clearance before moving. Aerial work platform evaluation form continued. Evaluating platform, select the best position to elevate. Safety strap harness on, ensure firm ground, ensure flat surface, smooth operation, overhead clearances. And then lowering platform, smooth operation, we want to check below first. Aerial work platform elevation evaluation form continued. Parking, we want to park in a safe area. We want the platform lowered, power off, key removed, 3-point dismount, and put the charge on if necessary. General overall safety, we want to be aware of overhead restrictions. We want to give the right of way to pedestrians and attention to safety. Feet on the platform. Employees shall maintain firm footing on the platform while working on the platform. The use of railings, planks, ladders, or any other device on a platform for achieving additional height is prohibited. This example of operating controls, these should be labeled so we can know what direction, up, down, right, left, etc. More examples of controls here. And these are ground controls. We need to be able to lower and raise, and emergency stop button on there. Examples of more ground controls: lift up and down, emergency stop. That ends the presentation portion. There will be a quiz now. Question 1. Authorized platform operators have a responsibility not to allow unauthorized personnel to operate a lift. A, true. B, false. Question 2. Swinging gates on lift platforms should remain open during operation. A, true. B, false. Question 3. An elevated work platform can be driven from either the platform control panel or the lower control panel. A, true. B, false. Question 4. Most manufacturers recommend that you keep a lift blank foot distance away from power lines less than 50,000 volts. A, 3. B, 5. C, 10. D, 12. Question 5. There is no reason you should ever tie off your lanyard to something outside the platform. A, true. B, false. Question 6. The capacity of the scissor lift you are about to utilize is A, 500 pounds, B, 350 pounds, C, 700 pounds, or D, 1,000 pounds. Question 7. You can climb on rails or use a ladder within the lift to obtain additional height. A, true, B, false. Question 8. What is the maximum person limit of the scissor lift you're about to use? A, 1, B, 4, C, 2 people, D, 1.5 people. Question 8. The scissor lift you're about to use has a maximum platform height of blank feet. A, 32, B, 40, C, 15, D, 25. Question 10. The scissor boom or vehicle mounted aerial work platform permits are good for blank year period. A2, B3, C4, D1. Question 11. Do not alter or modify the aerial work platform unless you have written permission to do so by the manufacturer. A, true, B, false. Question 12. Directional controls shall do or have which of the following? A, return to the neutral when released. B, be protected against inadvertent operation. C, be clearly marked as to the intended function. D, all of the above. Question 13. The boom lift capacity you utilize is A, 200 pounds, B, 550 pounds, C, 400 pounds, or D, 300 pounds. Question 14. The boom lift you are utilizing has a blank person maximum limit. A2, B5, C4, D3. Question 15. The vehicle mounted aerial work platform capacity that you utilize is A, 200 pounds, B, 550 pounds, C, 400 pounds, and D, 300 pounds. Question 16. A vehicle mounted aerial work platform that you would utilize has a blank person maximum limit. A2, B5, C4, or D3. That is the end of the quiz portion of the presentation.